I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Ha, Kodash, double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule great millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom, wa abba. This is Psalm 97. It says, Yahweh reigneth, let the earth rejoice. Let the multitude of isles be glad thereof, which we know by the order of the moon and the sun. They continue. So we know that Yahweh reigneth, all right, and his son Yahushai will return. It says, clouds and darkness are round about him. Righteousness and judgment are the habitation of his throne. And he's given righteousness and judgment to Zion. That's why we will be in the throne. A fire goeth before him, and burneth up his enemies round about, which nuclear missiles are going to destroy his enemies before his son returns, pretty much at the return of his son. His lightnings enlighten the world, which Yahushua is going to return like lightning. The earth saw and trembled, which the earth is going to shake at the nuclear destruction of America. The hills melted like wax at the presence of Yahweh, at the presence of the Lord of the whole earth, which he's going to send his son back, which it tells you in, let me see here, Isaiah 19. It says, the burden of Egypt, which it's talking about America, the spiritual Egypt. Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and he shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom, which that's what's going to happen in these last days. All right, you're going to have pretty much a war in the streets of America, Egyptian against Egyptian, neighbor against neighbor, city against city, and you're going to have World War III, which is pretty much already active, kingdom against kingdom, which they're going to be gathered into the valley of Jehoshaphat, fighting each other, all right, over the Israelites and their land. And the Lord's going to send his son back, Yahushai, and he's going to destroy him with fire. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, which he's hardening their hearts. And they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards, which America's built on witchcraft. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, Donald J. Trump, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh, the Lord of hosts. Right? And the Lord, saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts. And the waters shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up. All right, which he's coming to judge with fire, but he's going to save his remnant of Israel. Psalm 97, verse 6. The heavens declare his, and once again, it's Yahushai that's coming back in the glory of his Father Yahweh. The heavens declare his righteousness, which through the internet we tell you this truth, and all the people see his glory. Everyone's seeing what we're saying, but only a remnant is ordained to be saved of the nation of Israel. The other nations, they have no salvation. It says, confounded be all they that serve graven images, that boast themselves of idols, worship him, all ye, it says, gods, which is the Elohim. All right? Elohim. We are gods, but we die like men. Confounded be all they that serve graven images, false idols, that boast themselves of idols. Worship him, all ye Elohim, which are the elect. Zion, which the Elohim are the Israelites of Zion that believe in Yahweh, heard and was glad, and the daughters of Judah rejoice because of thy judgments, O Yahweh, which Yahweh came out of the tribe of Judah. There's 12 tribes of Israel, and Judah is the head tribe, the so-called American Negro. For thou art, it says, for thou, Yahweh, art high above all the earth. Thou art exalted far above all the gods, all Elohim, right? So he's even above Yahweh. He is the head of Yahweh, and Yahweh is our head. Ye that love Yahweh hate evil, and persevereth the souls of his saints. He preserveth the souls of his saints. Ye that love Yahweh hate evil. He preserveth the souls of his saints. He delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked, the so-called Caucasians, which are planning to try to destroy us, the elite. It says, light is sown for the righteous, and gladness for the upright in heart. Rejoice in Yahweh, ye righteous, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness, which we remember his judgments, all right, which this makes us holy, all right. So it says light. I wanted to get that word for light. Light. Awar. So light being the light of day, light of the heavens, right? Light of life, light of prosperity, which that just made me think of 1 John. It says in verse 5, this then is the message which we have heard of him and declare unto you. That's the light. That Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, is light, and in him is no darkness at all. If we say that we have fellowship with him and walk in darkness in the way of this world, we lie and do not the truth. But if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship one with another, and the blood of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, his son, cleanseth us from all sin. See, if we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. And that's what we do. When you go into his judgments, you realize that you can't keep his commandments in these corrupted bodies perfect, and you can't do them in this corrupt society, right? Like someone that commits adultery is supposed to be put to death. You can't do that, right? They'll put you in jail for murder. See? So we can't keep his judgments perfect in this corrupted world, this wicked world that the so-called Caucasian, the wicked, the red devil, the Bible speaks of, is ruling. All right? So we just meditate on this truth, teaching each other, right? Trying to walk the best that we can in this light, which it's really not that hard. As it says, his yoke is not burdensome. It's light. All right? He gave us grace. He gave us the instruction on how to walk in this corrupt world, right? So let's go to Romans 8, verse 1. There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Hamashiach Yahushai, who walk not after the flesh, the world, but after the Spirit. And the Spirit is what? In the Scriptures. Romans 7 and 14. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. Right? So we're enslaved in this sinful nation, and we are in sinful bodies. All right? So that's why Esau is known as the man of sin. because he promotes sin in his corrupt system. To live here, you gotta, pretty much sell out and commit sin. That's what the whole thing with the implantable microchip is. He wants you to commit the ultimate sin, which will lead to your condemnation of being in the nuclear fire. All right. But it says in Romans 8, verse 1, there is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Hamashiach Yahushua, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For the law of the Spirit of life in Hamashiach Yahushua had made me free from the law of sin and death, which it tells you in Matthew 5, verse 5, it says, Yahushua says, blessed are the meek, the willing Israelite, for they shall inherit the earth, because he's going to give the earth to the righteous, and they're going to repopulate the earth after this destruction with righteous offspring, Israelites, and the heathen will be our slaves. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, which your desire should be wanting to keep the law. But you see that you cannot in this corrupt society, and in your corrupt flesh there is sin. For they shall be filled. The Lord's going to give us new bodies and give us the ability to keep those laws. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy, which we receive mercy by this truth, this ministry, which we go out and teach to the hopeful elect. Blessed are the pure in heart, meaning they're not lukewarm, right? They're fully persuaded in this truth, for they shall see power. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of Yahweh through Yahushua. Yep, I believe I got the main point, all right? So with that, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, double honors to our apostle elders, which taught us the truth, and Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom, wa abba.